Thank you, and thank you for the invitation to speak to House Judiciary. I wanted just to introduce myself to those of you, which I don't think that I've met a lot of you, but I'm looking forward to getting to know you. I just wanted to give a little bit of background about myself. I'm from Clinton. And I came from Clinton and I still live there. So that's not much of a story. My background is that I was in private practice for 8 years and then became the juvenile judge in the 20th District. And 2 years later, or really a year and a half later, became the circuit Chancery, they said at that time, judge for the 20th District, and I did that until 2000. I was elected to the Court of Appeals, and I spent 10 years at the Court of Appeals, and then I was elected to the Supreme Court in 2010, and I've spent the rest of my career there. So this is my 15th year on the Supreme Court. My first is the Chief Justice, and I was honored to be elected by the people to the Chief Justice spot and to be the first woman ever elected to the Chief Justice spot. So we're off to a little bit of a rough start. You might have noticed in the press, but I think we're going to get that all worked out. And particularly, we've got a little bit of a problem with our cases. We haven't been able to get any cases out since early December. Partly or mainly because our new Justice Ronnie has had to recuse on all our criminal cases. So we had to pull those cases. But he's anxious to go to work, and I'm anxious for him to. So I've talked to the Court of Appeals about some of their civil cases, and we're going to be able to get those working pretty soon, I think. So look forward to answering any questions anybody has. Happy to be here.
Representative Shepherd, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Chief Justice, for being here. Thank you for your service to our state. So you touched on, I guess, kind of the elephant in the room, that there has been a lot written and a lot talked about with regard to the Supreme Court, and you've alluded to that fact. And so, the question I would have is, we do, or at least I get asked, particularly as an attorney, I get asked a lot of times about, well, what's going on at the Supreme Court? What is, and you've alluded to the caseload issue. So I just am curious as to, as I get those questions, as I'm talking with other attorneys or my constituents, what should I tell them is going to be done in order to kind of get back on track? And so I'd love to hear your answer to that. Thank you.
Well, as I said, the problem is the cases, that we can't move forward with any criminal cases. And that's all we had scheduled. So with Justice Bronny's recusal, and in the criminal cases, and not just original cases, but also our post-conviction cases, it's been difficult to schedule that. But I'm working with the clerk to bring up some of the Court of Appeals more difficult cases to our docket so that we can, Justice Bronny can participate in those cases. And of course, we have civil cases as well that will be going forward. There's a difference of opinion about whether I have the same authority that Chief Justices have always had and in Arkansas. And I am unwilling to accept that I don't have the same authority to hire the administrative office of the court's executive director, which is the area of contention. And if we can't work that out, we'll probably be litigating that issue because I am, like I said, I'm willing to accept that I don't have the same power as every other Chief Justice to to hire the executive director of the administrative office of the courts. They've all hired who they wanted, and I've got the history of that. Justice Hannah, well, during my time on the court, we've had two, J.D. Gingrich and now Marty Sullivan. And the expenses for the administrative office of the courts have gone up markedly. And I've been going through budgets trying to figure out exactly where those increases are. So that's where we are at the moment. It's difficult to supervise, and the statutes and the Constitution make clear that it's my duty to see to the administration of justice. And it's difficult to do that right now without being able to hire the executive director.